I'm Natalie Siegel, licensed independent social worker and a supervisor designation. And I'm here to talk about the difference between anxiety and depression. So, depression is when you feel overwhelmingly sad. Sometimes you can't even identify that you feel sad. It often will also show up in forms of extreme exhaustion. So it's when you don't want to get out of bed, not just the typical you're tired and you don't want to start your day. It's where you physically feel like you have to sleep for hours and hours throughout the day and the evening, and you just feel like you can't get caught up. It's also, there's loss of motivation, loss of interest. So things that used to be fun and interesting, video games with your friends, now you have no desire to do it. And oftentimes there's hygiene. So there's also lack of motivation to get up and take a shower outside of the normal, like 2 days without washing my hair type thing. It's where hygiene starts to become an issue. It's showing that you don't have a motivation to get up and go about your daily routines. So oftentimes, everybody experiences highs and lows. There's going to be rough weeks, there's going to be great weeks. But I think the time when you should be concerned about seeking out help is those times where you're, like I said, when you're out sleeping for days on end and not feeling better, feeling like there's like no one cares about you, feeling like there's not hope outside of what most people are experiencing with the pandemic. And if there's any thoughts of harm to self or harm to others, then that would be definitely a sign that you need to seek help outside of just talking to your parents. So anxiety is more of worried thoughts that just continuously run through your head. It is normal to worry. It's normal to be concerned about something. Where it gets into the standpoint of maybe I need to get further help is if it is just constantly playing in your head, this worry, and you feel like there's nothing that you can do to stop the worry. I often describe it as this like cloud over your head, this really heavy dark cloud, and you can't necessarily identify what it is, but it keeps coming back, and you just keep thinking about it. So that would be considered anxiety. It also shows up in other ways. There's a lot of tension. It often feels like a tightness in your chest, and our bodies respond to all of our feelings in many different ways. So oftentimes for anxiety, it's that tightness, it's any stress, tension, so muscle tension. Some people will clench their jaws, or they'll grind their teeth when they sleep, and then they wake up with jaw pain. So those are ways that that's how anxiety is. It's more this overwhelming feeling like you just can't stop thinking about this thing, and then once you can't stop thinking about it, you're afraid to go outside, or you're afraid to do X, Y, and Z because the worry is too great for you to do anything outside of just focusing on the worry. So right now, because of the pandemic and because there is a lot of more anxious symptoms that are happening, I would definitely say, and the mental health world has really been great at stepping up to the plate in this situation, and especially in the state of Ohio, they've made mental health very accessible for anybody. So I would say at any point, if you feel like you need therapy, even if you don't feel like it's necessarily clinical, in the range of clinical where it's so overwhelming, but you just feel like you might be getting there and you want to talk to somebody, the state of Ohio has opened it up to where you could get telehealth from almost any provider as long as they are providing telehealth. So you don't even have to leave your house. You can set up to do teletherapy in your home and have a screen, which makes it so much easier because of the pandemic. There is so much worry and anxiety going around. But I feel like the difference between just an anxious day where you're just worried, maybe you have a big test coming up and it's not till the 8th period and you just keep stressing out about it because it's the last test you have of the day. That, and then let's say you take the test and then you're worried about it. There's no relief once you take the test. Then you're worried about the answers you gave. You're constantly thinking like, oh, I didn't do well. Or if there's a lot of negative self-talk, if you're telling yourself that you're dumb or you're not worthy or anything like that, then that would be in the range of where it's like you definitely need to go get help, because you're not going to be able to work through that on your own. Now, I know that there's a really great program, the Hope Squad, that has been in a lot of the high schools to help train teens so that they can help get that student connected to any sort of help that they might need. So I would definitely say if you know someone who's on the Hope Squad, or if you're feeling any sort of feelings that you want to hurt yourself or hurt somebody else, that's where I would seek out help from someone on the Hope Squad, because they can get you connected, or I would seek out the help of an adult because they would be able to get you connected. It's okay to not be okay. I want everyone to know everyone's mental health is going up and down. Everyone is having good days and bad days. That right now is the norm. It is normal for people to go up and down. So if you're feeling like you're not okay right now, that's okay. It's not okay to be self-destructive. When it gets to that point, if your parents are recognizing that in you, or if you're recognizing that, you need to get help.